Welcome back to Let's Play Jade Empire. Before we go any further, there's some things to take care of. First, the thread is voted, and here's our new character. We chose Scholar Ling, and our name will be Iran. Second, there's things we can do before talking to Master Li.
It is an honor to be approached by the school's most senior student. My mother had high hopes for the school when she sent me here from the capital. Sometimes I wonder if I'm ready to train with others of such skill. Even in the robes of a junior student, I feel a long way from my home in the Imperial City.
Remember when we had a female student Gao said was going gaga over us? This is the male version.
Master Li would not have accepted me if he did not see potential. He measures all people carefully. I will just have to work twice as hard to catch up to your level of skill. Even then, it will take a long time to be your match. How long have you studied with Master Li?
This can continue for a while, and we get a little bit of information, but nothing earth-shattering.
I'm ready to train with others of such skill. Even in the robes of a junior student, I feel a long way from my home in the Imperial City.
Besides, being nice to this guy is not what the thread voted for.
You're right. Sometimes I just feel that I'm so far behind you that I may never catch up. I don't waste Master Li's time. I just feel very new to the school. If time is so valuable here, then I won't waste any more of yours.
If he doubts his strength, then he clearly doesn't deserve to be here.
And a kind statement would be harsh but so bluntly. I don't need to suffer this. Goodbye.
Not only have we crushed his infatuation with us, we've got the icon of a red fist flashing on the screen. The game goes into this more detail later, but this is as good a time as any to cover Jade Empire's philosophy system. Imagine the light and dark sides of the Force from Knights of the Old Republic. Remember how one side was you being Jedi Jesus, and the other side was you being Satan incarnate? Jade Empire tries to take a more nuanced approach to this. Instead of the light and dark sides, there's the way of the open palm and the way of the closed fist. The open palm is altruistic, constantly trying to minimize chaos and to make the burdens of others more bearable. This is the light side analog for this game, but the game handles it a bit smarter than KOTOR ever did. The closed fist, meanwhile, tries to constantly better itself, and views conflict as a method to do so. It's not that they don't care about people, they just don't care about how imposing their will affects others. Being closed fist doesn't make you evil, but evil people will often use the closed fist philosophy to justify their actions. This means in reality, there's two different types of closed fist philosophy. There's what I call the pure fist, and the evil fist. Let's take the tale of the Good Samaritan. The Good Samaritan is obviously open palm, as he helped a man who'd been beaten and left on the side of the road out of the goodness of his heart. An evil fist follower wouldn't care about the man, and would leave him there, or would check his body for anything valuable. A pure fist follower would leave him there because, in his mind, the person will survive if they're strong. Or they might help the man if they're given an incentive. The game tries to play things smarter than KOTOR by telling you that open palm and closed fist aren't good and bad. An open palm practitioner might seek order by implementing laws that are needlessly strict, and a closed fist character could help the weak if placed in a situation where they can't hope to grow stronger from conflict. It's an awesome idea, but one hobbled by execution that I'll discuss later on. The thread has voted for us to do a closed fist run. I'll try to show both the evil fist and pure fist reactions where I can. It's time for our first side quest. This chest contains 3 colored lion figurines, and there's a giant lion statue right here. You can destroy the table the figurines rest on, but then you'll fail the side quest. Besides, it's pretty easy to solve this puzzle. You have 3 colored lion figurines, and the lion statue will only show colors that are matching your figurines.
The obvious path is humble, safe, but pays the wage of a cook, not a champion.
The puzzle said that a greater reward awaits those that investigate, so we're going to look around the school for clues. To the right is what we're looking for. This is a tomb for an old master of the school with a bowl to put the silver in. Solving the first puzzle gave us exactly 1 piece of silver to use. We'll be using that lion head token in a moment.
Oh, senior student. Not too many people come back here this time of day, so we thought we'd take a moment to practice. Would you like to join us? We could team up against you and learn from the best. This is good news. We'll try to go easy on you.
Leaping Tiger.
This is our first fight with our new starting style, Leaping Tiger. As you can see, it has a very nice combo, and the power attack takes us into the air, out of the range from most other attacks. This is going to come in handy later in the game.
That's enough! I didn't think we'd win, but it was an honor to face you. Thank you very much. We have to go. Smiling Mountain's going to be teaching a class soon, and then we have weapons training.
Before we go any further, let's go take a look at the stuff I missed before talking to our master. This piece of lore tells us that there was a horrible drought 10 years ago, and that the current emperor managed to stop the drought somehow. No one's really sure how he did it, but everyone knows that he's the guy who stopped it. And inside this chest is a pop-up that tells us about the 2 new martial arts styles for the PC version of this game, Iron Palm and Viper. Iron Palm is a faster and slightly weaker version of White Demon, while Viper can do poison damage. Both of them are really good styles, but you can never have both of them in the same playthrough. There is a decision in the game that forces you to choose between one style or the other. After you put silver into the master's bowl, a new description pops up for the lion, hinting about the lion head token that you acquired. If you place the lion head token into the mouth, the puzzle changes and gets slightly more complex. Now instead of 1 figure, you have to put in 2. And this time you have to remove figures. So as long as you know how to make colors out of the basic colors, you'll be able to do this puzzle no problem.
Examine all angles, and you will see the interconnectedness of all things. Even that which is humble can be the key to greater things.
So we lost our figurines, but we gained our first technique. I hinted at this in the previous part. Techniques are rewards for side quests, or for finding lore in the environment. You find enough lore, or you solve a side quest a certain way, you get boosts to your character.
What's the matter, Dawnstar? Are you scared that Master Li might find out?
There is talk of approaching bandits, and you bother me with unsubtle advances. How very like you, Gao. No doubt a tactic learned from your criminal father.
His name is Gao the Greater, and he built a fortune out of some ragged thieves and slave traders. If my charm can't lift your spirit, I'll buy the ground from under you.
Flaunting your father's undeserved wealth does not impress me, Gao. It only serves to push me further away.
This is Dawnstar, the person we're looking for.
You step beyond your station. She and I are discussing her future.
Thank you, Gao, but I'll pick my own poison. Now leave, and if you'd be so kind, stay downwind.
I won't forget this, Dawnstar. You show great disrespect. You as well. You will not take all the glory if there is an attack. We are not through.
Oh, he is Gao the Lesser in all respects. I thought Master Li allowed him to stay so that the influence of the father could be countered, but Gao never learns. He acts like he's above Master Li's teachings. Such are the conceits of wealth, I suppose. I appreciate that you arrived when you did. What does Gao the Lesser ever want? He's convinced that he can buy everything, and that includes people. He's a spoiled little man. I'd rather not dwell on him. Let's not increase his influence by talking about him after he's gone. What is it you wish?
Yes, he said you were coming. He just passed here with Si Pat on his way to help Kia Min. It's strange that simple bandits would launch such a raid.
Master Li was concerned that this would interrupt your training. His respect for your potential is just so absolute. Has he told you any more about your future? Oh, don't be such a sour fish. I wonder about it all the time. You are filled with such promise. My abilities seem so much darker. I can see into the spiritual, an ability that grants some insight, but it doesn't seem to be useful for anything other than keeping me awake at night. I helped Master Li discover the unrest that shapes your future, but I see only problems, while you are destined to find solutions. I envy you for that.
We might be a dick, but we're not going to be mean to Dawnstar. At least not yet.
I'm glad. You have always kept your feet on the ground. What does Master Li say? That you should keep the basics close to heart?
Let's go get your weapon from Guzhin's workshop. It shouldn't be too hard to fend off simple bandits. They're foolish to attempt such an attack.
Of course. Good company will make the walk go faster.
This yellow shrine will help us recharge our focus. That'll come in handy later. The blue shrine over there will recharge our chi.
Nice little town you have here. Not a lot of guards, are there? How are your stocks of food?
I don't know you. Why are you asking me all these questions?
This town isn't well guarded. Forget it, let's just start looting. We'll get first crack at the good stuff.
You're right. This isn't worth it.
I can't believe they've moved so quickly. We need your weapon. Gujin will be in his shop north of the main stairs.
Why would bandits come here to Two Rivers?
Heavens, no!
This building is Gujin's place. As soon as we can, we should see him to arm ourselves.
Before we pick up our weapon, let's take a look at this piece of lore. And just like that, we pick up our second technique. Like I said earlier, sometimes you get rewards for finding lore in the environment.
Ojoir Shatir Uksayanam, Zawani Karpa.
Hello, Weapon Master Gujin. Good day to you.
Swowo here Ufir, Wakwanpa.
If we hadn't read that piece of lore in the first part, this would be our introduction to the game's second language, Thofan.
If you'd prefer, I don't need to use Thofan. Now, what brings you here? In something of a foul mood, are we? Nothing you can do to cheer her up, Dawnstar?
Not right now, Gujin. There's already bandits here in Two Rivers.
Already? I assume you dealt with them, and the rest are in for quite a surprise when they get here. Well, no time to waste. Dawnstar, I watched you practice with that new blade yesterday, and I must say you take to it naturally. I want you to keep it and use it as your own.
This is a great honor. A good weapon is a true warrior's most treasured possession.
You know, you came here with Master Li as just a babe. I came not long after, and I've been holding on to a weapon for you ever since. Well, two, actually. But you need to choose which one you'll take. Master Li wants you to stay focused on your first weapon. I don't know where your master acquired these, but he has honored me with the care of two legendary weapons. You may arm yourself with either the legendary longsword, Fortune's favorite, or the famed staff, Golden Star. They say this blade was created in the forge of Smiling Fortune, blacksmith to the gods. Crafted for his son, this blade eventually found its way into the hands of men. How your master found it, I cannot say, but this ancient longsword is yours, if you wish it. They say Golden Star was forged as a gift to a water spirit of the Silkworm River. A young noble convinced the great eastern serpent to fly him to the stars, where he dipped this staff in the tail of a comet. It could be pure fantasy, but this staff certainly isn't. It's strong and has an excellent reach. Your foes will tremble if they see you wielding it.
The thread voted for me to take the staff, so that's what I'm going to do.
Your weapon is well deserved, and you'll need it with these bandits so close. If you decide you truly don't like it, however, you can come see me after the bandits are dealt with. One more thing you need to know. These weapons strike with deadly precision, but to wield them safely, you must focus with each strike. Master Li has been training you so that you'd be ready for this kind of weapon. And the drain won't be crippling, but you will get tired over time.
Because we specialized in mind and therefore we have a larger amount of focus, we can use weapons for longer periods of time. This isn't the only thing you can use focus for, though.
The only thing left for you to learn is respect for others. You can never tell who might be an easily offended master of a style you don't know how to counter.
Senior student. Oh, excuse me, Weapon Master. I did not mean to interrupt.
Calm down, student. What has you so flustered?
The bandits. They've already been sighted down by the beach, and they're making their way toward the town. Master Li hasn't returned yet with Kia Min. I'm sure he will be back before long, but we must depend on you until he returns.
I doubt he's strong enough to do anything useful, so we're not taking him with us. Not like we can, anyway.
I will run to the school and seal the gates. Make your way to the beach and teach these bandits a lesson. I know you can.
You've done well, lad. Go back to the school now. Your friends have some new weapons they're dying to try out, I'm sure.
Leaping time. Stop!
Orbs will sometimes show up during combat. They can heal health, chi, or focus depending on what color they are.
Leaping tiger.
Hold your tongue, old man.
Heavenly
This
wave.
village is ours.
We have to help. Be careful, these labs will show their
This is our first example of a harmonious combo. You set one up by using a power attack on a support style, like Heavenly Wave, and then you use the power attack on any style that can finish a harmonious combo. This fight kind of shows why your followers are useless in combat, because especially at higher difficulty levels, they will go down really fast. You're usually better off putting them into a support
Here
role.
fighting to the east. We have to push these bandits back off the beach.
This fight and the one that came before it are usually actually kind of hard on higher difficulty levels. For reference, I'm playing the game on Master difficulty level, which is actually considered normal. There's 4 difficulty levels, and the highest you can't play until you've beaten the game at least once. And Dawnstar actually lasts quite a bit in this fight too. I'm fairly sure that's more of a function of the difficulty setting than her actually being competent. Or at least her AI being competent. This fight only shows up after you pick up the weapons from Gujin, and it's purely optional, but since you can get a lot of silver for this point in the game if you do it, there's no reason not to.
Yet another village with no purpose. I will replenish our supplies and continue my search elsewhere. You will all, of course, have to die.
This fight would actually be pretty hard if it weren't for the gimmick that goes into it. Because, as you might have heard Dawnstar just say, there's cannons going off. And if you're in the impact zone for the cannon, you're going to take a lot of damage and you're going to be set on fire, which is going to make you take additional damage. Which is why it's a good idea, if the cannon's about to go off, for you to get out of dodge and let your opponents take the hit like they did just there. Because then, they're the ones taking the additional damage, and that's a lot less work for you to do. I'd just like to point out Dawnstar is down again. After this part, I'm going to put all of my followers onto a support role. I got pretty lucky on the timing of that immolation state, because now I'm not on fire, and in addition, Dawnstar comes back. This is focus mode. If you're having a hard time dodging your opponents, you can activate this to get some help. Focus mode is honestly pretty useful in a tight situation, but you have to balance using it and your weapons, so it's a situational decision on which one you use. This is why harmonic combos are really useful. In addition to instantly killing a minor enemy that you use it on, they can drop power-ups, so there's a good chance you can recover one of your 3 bars.
What are you? Your skills are more than this tiny village warrants, but I also see something strange, an oddity. You could be an anomaly or a sign of who I seek. A further test is needed. These mercenaries are not the only threat I command. Let us see you contend with this.
These guys are obviously not human. This is your first fight with spirits, and it's going to be a little rough for you to get used to it first, mostly because of the 3 styles you have at this point, 2 of them don't work. Support styles and weapon styles don't work on spirits. You have to use your martial arts, which means for this fight, we have to use Leaping Tiger.
Leaping Tiger.
Impressive. Clearly, I have been too dismissive in my search. This village will be torn asunder. Whatever you are hiding, I will have it. I have seen enough of your skills. You will die now, so I am not troubled later.
You! Well fought, my student, but I cannot risk you against a foe like this yet.
So blatant. We never thought to look in so humble a place. We expected an army. Your strategy, as always, is impeccable.
Your search is over, assassin, but no one will hear of your success.
Lee's kind of a badass.
It would seem that my past is catching up to me, and you are destined to be swept along. You have faced your first spirit opponents far sooner than I intended. Dawnstar can explain the nature of such creatures. I must go and make sure everything is in place. I thought I had more time, but perhaps you are ready. You would have fought, and you would have died. You are not ready, but you soon will be. There is no choice left to us. I will explain at the school. You have done well, but more than this awaits you. See to your fellow villagers and students, and return to me at the school. We have a great deal to discuss.
This is the only time I'm going to show the level up screen. I'll be cutting it out from this point. You get 3 points to invest in your stats. I'm just going to put 1 in each for now. And you get 10, and for this level you get 10 points to put into your styles. Well, for now I'm not going to put any in there.
We fought well against those bandits, but I had no idea Master Li could command that kind of power. He destroyed that ship so easily. This is so confusing. Master Li said I could explain the nature of spirits, but these were different. That sorcerer forced them to appear like wild dogs let loose. So many spirits seem lost, as if the way to their rest is blocked. I didn't think they were dangerous, but those on the beach, I sensed madness. Time drove them mad. You disrupted them by defeating them in combat. They will not reform for a long time. I hope there is peace in that, but I don't know. So much is worrying me. I was worried enough when we were expecting bandits. Now it seems there are dangers we don't even know about. Master Li called that sorcerer an assassin. Assassins don't attack at random. They have very specific prey. I don't want anything to happen to this home. I've never belonged anywhere else. Names or titles are often given based on significant events or particular skills. I was apparently named for a red glow opposite the morning sun on the day of my birth. I have no other information than that. I remember moving around a lot, and for some reason the robes of that sorcerer looked familiar to me. I don't know why. I'm sure it's nothing, just the memories of childhood playing tricks. With glimpses of the spirit realm invading my thoughts, I could have seen them anywhere. I can't remember specific incidents, but I am used to being shunned. People are not very welcoming of those who appear to not let the dead lay peacefully. Master Li said I was brought to him by a concerned ally who received me from yet another person. That person wanted me safe, but he said he couldn't ensure it himself. Master Li doesn't know who that guardian was, or what I needed protection from. He promised to look into it, but he's not had time. Your training has taken precedence. My abilities are just a curiosity. You are the center of attention here. I prefer it this way. I can just be. Yes, I suppose you know something about that as well. I hope this does not sound odd, but I am glad we share that. Thanks for this talk. The events on the beach worried me, but you always improve my mood. Let's get back to what you need to do.
Yes, Dawnstar chose, right after the attack, to unload character development and exposition.
I don't want to think about it too much. Manipulating chi has not come as naturally to me as it has to you. The things I do are different. I can see spirit shapes and hear the odd whisper. Master Li was surprised, but he has not had time to look into it further. Your training is his primary interest. Hopefully I'll find my skills useful for more than just keeping me up at night. Could we go on to something else? Then we should return to Master Li so he can talk to you about this attack.
That's going to do it for this episode. Next time, we'll be visiting Master Li to see what he has in store for us.